Hey, welcome back to the Ernest P YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and today we're going to do another episode of Roadside Rescue. So I got a call from this gentleman who has an RV, and this is the first time he's tried to start it this year. He had it charging, plugged in over winter and just, in shutdown mode or whatever they call it, everything turned off. But when he went to turn the RV back on, he's not getting any power to the RV. So we're gonna swing down here and check it out and see if we can get it running for him. We're just a few minutes away, and never worked on an RV. I'm assuming it's an electrical problem, but we'll see if we can't figure it out. Okay, here we are. We have no power inside the RV, and these disconnect switches aren't working. I've taken the panel off and tested for voltage, and there's no voltage here, so we're not getting any power to the chassis or the body, so it's most likely a fuse here. I'm going to check the relays and make sure that it's not one of those. Okay, so we've got this panel here. Here's a little diagram for it. We've got the two relays right here, the big ones you can see there for the chassis battery disconnect and the coach battery disconnect. I went ahead and tested both of those, and they weren't sending power through. I tested with a test light. So I pulled this back here, and you want to be careful when you're messing around with anything electronic not to short it out, but you would want to see the power comes in there and goes out the other side, or vice versa on this one. And the power comes in there and goes out there, and it wasn't sending power through. What it'll do is when you flip that switch, it'll send voltage through one side and ground to the other, and vice versa to flip this. It's a big old magnetic relay. It may have another name. Anyways, they were both off. So what I ended up doing was, and you want to be careful here, but I took my alligator clips and I clipped them onto the battery, and I just gently and quickly touched one to the other side and then switched them, and I got them to click over. So for both of them, I know these relays are good. They're both on now, so the truck will drive and turn on. And I'm looking for a fuse to find a fuse that may have gone bad, because we're not getting any voltage up at those other switches. So now we're just looking for a fuse. All right, so the problem I'm running into now is these wires go straight into the body of this RV. I cannot find, they go straight from here, I can tell, over, and they just disappear. So you can't find any wiring diagrams for these things. This is a Fleetwood RV. There may be one or two out there. I've been searching and I can't find any, so I'm having trouble finding the specific wiring diagram for these switches. And so I'm sure it's just a fuse or a bad wire, so it either need to be rewired or have that fuse looked at. Problem is I cannot find that auxiliary fuse box for this specific switch. So I've left it on for him. What he's going to have to do is take it to the Fleetwood dealership or an RV dealer that's going to have specific manuals or something for this. Again, I even consulted a Fleetwood technician online, and he didn't have any information on it either. But the good news is now, at least it's running, and he doesn't have to tow it to the dealership, which would cost a fortune. So that's about all we can do for him today, just without any of those wiring diagrams. It's a tricky one, so we'll go ahead and leave it in his hands to get taken over to the dealer and see if they can't rewire that switch or put a fuse on it. This is the Ernest P YouTube channel, Roadside Rescue. Thanks for watching. As always, have a good day. Peace out. And please like and subscribe. All right, so that was a success. We got it running, and after going over the options with them of either putting in new switches and just running new wires on them, or having them take it to the dealership and do it, right, which is what I recommended. He said he's fine just leaving it as it is, just always turned on, because he never turns it off anyways. He does normally when he leaves it for winter, but it's always plugged in, and he just did it as a precaution. But we went over, as long as it's plugged in, the batteries aren't going to die, and he won't need those manual shut-off switches. So for right now, he's fine with what's done. Consider it a job well done, and thanks again for watching.